So the other day I was going into my local Lidl. This store has recently had a refurb and I didn't know about this. So usually going into this store you would be lucky if you could find like one row of tofu blocks sort of tucked in on a shelf amongst all these other random bits and bobs. And now they had an entire fridge entirely dedicated to their plant-based range, which is super exciting. This included this product here. Their regular tofu comes in the same sort of style, 200 grams, but times 2 within the box. But the product is essentially the same. The nutritional values and everything are entirely the same, but this one has been infused with some dried basil. This got me pretty excited, wanting to know what can I make with this one. I think my initial excitement stemmed from thinking about the Rolls-Royce of tofu, the very best tofu in the world, which is the German brand Typhoon. If you know, you know. However, when I looked this up online and compared the ingredient lists, the basilico tofu from Typhoon actually has quite a lot of other ingredients in there as well. So it's not quite the same. We're gonna see how this one holds up. Does it have a nice basil-y profile to it, or is it just a waste of money? And we'll see what kind of recipes that it would work well in and what it might not work well in. First up, I tried cutting blocks of the basil tofu to have as part of one of my favorite sandwich combinations, with gherkins, mustard and some mayo. Combined with these more dominant flavors like the mustard and the gherkin, the basil tofu really didn't come through, so for this one you're probably better off just using plain tofu. For the second dish, I cut little cubes of tofu to have in my go-to CBA dinner, pasta pesto. The tofu crisped up really nicely in this shape. I think the more frying surface equaled more chance for the dried basil to be activated, so this complemented the dish really well. Overall, the basil tofu is a great addition to add another texture and a bit more protein to a very simple weeknight dinner. Finally, I tried making pad krap pao, which is a Thai basil stir fry. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any actual Thai basil in my local store, but the basil tofu really worked wonders here. This was absolutely delicious. I don't know if you can see it, but the dried basil has actually fallen off from the tofu and it went everywhere to really infuse the dish. An absolute 10 out of 10 meal. I would happily make this one again. On a random side note, in my recent quest to find ways to keep produce fresh for longer, I've tried this trick of making a tiny greenhouse using a plastic bag to cover the basil. It's only been 2 days so far, but it's looking pretty healthy, apart from maybe this one guy in the middle. It's time for the final verdict. Firstly, does this product taste amazingly basil-y? No, it does not. However, I think it will depend on what you use it in and how you prepare it. So for example, cutting it up into little cubes, I think that worked really well. Also, if you've pressed it before, so that there's more of a surface on every little bit of tofu that can crisp up, and I think it also will be cooking more of the basil and that helps bring out the flavor. Similarly, when we crumbled it up in the pad krap pao, never tried this dish before, but I feel like it really benefited the basil-y flavor of it. In the sandwich with stronger flavors like gherkin and mustard, it didn't work too well. I think those two are maybe just a little bit too overpowering. However, I thought that with adding soy sauce to our stir fry, that was also going to overtake the basil flavor, but it didn't. So no, it's not an amazingly strong flavor of basil, but it will depend on how you prepare it. And then secondly, how does this product compare to the Typhoon basilico? It's been quite a while since I actually had the basilico tofu from Typhoon. As I recall, it has quite a strong basil flavor just as it is, but the Typhoon one is actually like £4.50-ish for a similar pack of 200 grams, whereas this little one is one of the cheapest ones you can find on the market. And finally, would I buy this product again? Yes, absolutely. So Lidl produces, in my opinion, some of the best tofu that you can find in the supermarket shelves in the UK, and it's also at the best price, or at least one of the best prices. I would happily be buying this product again, of course provided that Lidl doesn't get rid of it. Anyway, that is everything for today's video. If you have tried cooking with this basil tofu from Lidl, please let me know. What did you use it in? How did you find it? And if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a like. And as always, thank you so much for watching.